Some people come on too, they want to monetize it the way they want to, because with Roku, you can have those paywalls. If someone pay a monthly subscription, they want to have control where they want to monetize it with advertisement or sponsors. They can do it that way. And of course, you're going to reach a demographic of people who normally just not going to find you online. They want to watch content on their big screen TVs. That's what we have them for. They're smarter, they're sleeker, and they use it in that fashion. At the same time, credibility, because like anything else, you can say, well, I have an ebook. That's pretty cool. But compared to having an actual physical book, you're in another light when it comes to presenting yourself in a way of getting the word out about your credibility. So control, monetizing it, exposure, it depends on what they want to do with it. But there's a lot of ways you can actually use Roku to scale your business.
Hello, everybody. Chuck Anderson here, and welcome back. This is the Creative Collaboration Show, and this is the show where we want to inspire entrepreneurs and business owners to look for ideas, and creative ideas at that, to collaborate and partner with others. And it's our belief that when you do that, your business will grow much, much faster than if you continue to do everything by yourself. And as entrepreneurs, we kind of have this disease sometimes, and that is that we do so much ourselves, and we have these great ideas. But when we can collaborate and partner with others, our businesses grow so much faster. And that's why I'm really excited about today's guest, because, look, as business owners, we want to get our message out there in a big, big way. Have you ever thought about what it would take to broadcast your message to millions of viewers through television? Well, our guest today is going to talk to us about how we can do that. Some have even referred to her as the Roku Queen, and I'm so honored to have CF Jackson here with me today. CF, welcome to the show. I'm so happy that you're here.
Well, thank you so much for having me today, Chuck. I'm excited about sharing and seeing how we can partake some new information, open some eyes and some minds, and at the same time inspiring some new people on a new path of opportunity.
And this is a fascinating topic, this whole idea of Roku, and also broadcasting the message out through television. And for some, that just seems like an impossibility. Yet this is what you help people to do. So I would love to hear a little bit more of that. Why do they call you the Roku Queen? What is that all about?
Well, I would say that because, one, I'm a female in this space that is something unique in a way in terms of never thinking about people can be on television and utilizing a platform like Roku. And so in my walk around here, I'm in Atlanta, I become known as the Roku Queen because I've been doing it since 2013. And it's something that I've been helping people along the path of, especially business owners and small business entrepreneurs, recognizing that media is where we are and video is where we are. And like you were saying, it seems so unattainable to be on television. And this is a path to doing it, utilizing Roku. So I guess Roku Queen has come a little staple of myself here in Atlanta.
Amazing. Well, so what's your journey? What's your story? How did becoming involved in Roku and television, how did that come to be? What's been that journey?
Pretty much my journey. I grew up in Florida originally, and I'm an only child, single parent household. So my escapism has always been TV. I enjoy TV. Back in the day, I'm older than I look, but the weekends were Friday nights, the weekends where you look forward to television, you just had those shows, and I just dreamt about these things. But fast forward, I got into the entrepreneur world in 2004 as an author. I wrote my novel. Again, that was my escapism. I wasn't a reader. I love movies, but I wrote the book like a movie. And a friend said that'd be a great book. So I wrote it, and I started my path of entrepreneurship, created my own publishing company. And I enjoyed it. But as an entrepreneur, as you know, it's about getting the word out, getting it out there and getting the message out. So here in Atlanta, radio, speaking, had the opportunity to be on TV, but not in terms of the way of marketing and being there consistently, because it's a cost to that. And so in 2013, fast forward, someone mentioned streaming TV to me before. I never heard of it before. Came home and Googled it. And I'm like, well, I never heard of Roku, but I've heard of Sony. I mean, Sony's a household international brand. And I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. So I bought a Sony. I was complacent, Chuck. I'm like, okay, I got this cable and I got this cool little device. I can do a network, watch videos from my computer. I mean, I was fancy with it. My friend came back 6 months later. Yo, Roku. Like, Roku? I never heard of this Roku. That you can get on TV with it. Like, wow. So I'm like, how can I get on the Sony though? I never heard of Roku. Couldn't find it. Bought a Roku, and my mind was blown away. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, well, how can I help others? Because I know for me, TV is where I want to be. I know it's more exposure, more credibility, and all those other things. And it's pondered about it. And really the whole word about I Define TV is more than just a name of my company. If you say to yourself, I Define TV, yes, you do define TV. Now we all define TV utilizing a platform like Roku. So it's really a place for those who are dreamers, those who are visionaries, and those who are doers. And it's what the whole world I Define TV came to practice because of someone told me about it. I didn't ask how, I just did it and moved forward from there. In 2013, started out with a few hundred YouTube subscribers. And then in a few months, I had like 3,000 subscribers on Roku and been growing ever since.
Mm-hmm. So amazing story. And now you work, is it primarily business owners or what's the typical type of person that you're working with to help them get onto streaming TV?
Well, initially, to be transparent, when I initially started I Define TV, I initially started with those who I knew were kind of like the low-hanging fruit who already had content and had an idea of wanting exposure, which was music artists. My mom's an independent music artist, so I understood that their plight. So I started with them, and there was a couple from Sweden, matter of fact, and it grew from there. So I have a little bit of everything. I haven't focused on the creative side, but I do have independent filmmakers and those who create content creatively. But then mostly I focus on, like myself, the small business owner, those who may be health and wellness, a business coach, authors that are pertaining to wanting to give a message or provide information that's going to inform and create a following for them utilizing this platform. So everything I put on I Define TV is informative and is PG-13 and below because I want to be quality content that can serve a mass of people no matter where they are.
Great. So what would be the typical reason why someone would want to be on streaming TV? How does this fit into everything else that they're doing to get out their message and spread the word about their business and all of that? So what's the opportunity?
It depends. I know some people like to get on it for control or ownership. For example, I help someone create their own channel, we manage it for them. They want to control because they didn't want to be on YouTube. They didn't want to have someone come on YouTube. You know, you can't download YouTube content, but you can strip it in forms. In some ways you can. So they want to control ownership of it. They didn't want somebody taking their content and doing with it what they wanted to. So there was control. Some people come on too, they want to monetize it the way they want to, because with Roku, you can have those paywalls. If someone pay a monthly subscription, they want to have control where they want to monetize it with advertisement or sponsors. They can do it that way. And of course, you're going to reach a demographic of people who normally just not going to find you online. They want to watch content on their big screen TVs. That's what we have them for. They're smarter, they're sleeker, and they use it in that fashion. At the same time, credibility, because like anything else, you can say, well, I have an ebook. That's pretty cool. But compared to having an actual physical book, you're in another light when it comes to presenting yourself in a way of getting the word out about your credibility. So control, monetizing it, exposure, it depends on what they want to do with it. But there's a lot of ways you can actually use Roku to scale your business.
Amazing. So I love that idea of creating premium content behind a paywall. And if I think about some of the membership programs that we have online or online courses, I never really thought that streaming TV could be another potential channel for that. But it seems like that's something you could do. Yeah,
most definitely. You can have it done in terms of just have a channel per se, just all that. You can have one-off pieces of content. You can have them stream a little bit of the content and it stops, and then you have to pay to see the rest of it. So if you imagine anything like a Netflix, if you dream it, you can really, well, I don't create it. My developer does it, but we can create anything you think of, your version of a Netflix. We can do all that and then some. So it's amazing what you can do with it. And at the same time, too, you can also market and advertise. And like anything else, you can do geo-targeting marketing with Roku. You can do it by an area code. Zip code. You can do by city or region. do it in the United States, Canada, Brazil, Mexico. So you can do a whole lot. What you kind of do it online, you can do it right there on Roku as well.
Well, that sounds very interesting. And, some businesses are very local or geo-targeted. So, so are you saying so someone could, let's say they're local there in Atlanta, so you can have content that's only for Atlanta, or like how granular does that get? And, how does that work?
Well, I'll say, for example, with Roku, I'll say, if you want to target someone in a certain zip code, you can create content, do an ad, and they will only target those people in that zip code. So they'll see your creative. The creative may say, we watch more, learn more, and only those will be in that queue constantly showing your creative. And when they click on it, unlike traditional commercials or ads, it can go straight to a full-fledged video. And that's it. You're only going to be charged for that click to go to that piece of content. So there they are, inviting them to your world of whatever expertise you have to offer. And voila, it's going to be a 5-minute video, it can be a 15-minute video, whatever it may be, but you pull them into your spectrum, into your circle of, here I am, and there you are. It's not and then again, it gives us opportunity, not paying a hefty dollar to have a 30-second or 15-second ad on TV that can cost you a whole lot as an entrepreneur. We don't have that dollar. But we can afford something like Roku, where it starts as little as a couple $100, like, $700. And then you are off to the races, reaching a large demographic of people on TV. That's amazing. I think that blows my mind.
So they don't have to have a large budget to be able to do it, it sounds like. And, I talk to so many business owners and entrepreneurs all the time. I mean, it's one thing when you're working with a big business who has a set advertising budget. When you're talking to small business owners, it's like, advertising budget, what's that? It's like, let me check my bank account. Let's see what I've got. And so it's cool that this is something that you could do even on a small budget. And I think that's really important to say, because so many people will discount. It's like the perception of television is that it's so big and unattainable. And advertising, automatically people think about Super Bowl commercials, right? In the gazillions of dollars to participate in, but we're really talking about something that's accessible to the average business owner. Yeah,
and it blew my mind when I started learning more and digging more into it. And that's my goal, is to help 5,000 entrepreneurs out there, initially, to show them that we no longer have to wait on the ABC or CBS or any major network, no matter where you are. You currently have what you need to create quality videos. We have our webcams, we have our smartphones, digital camcorders. It's just getting comfortable and getting in front of the camera and getting your message out there, and then where you want to put it. And it doesn't always have to be online. If you ever desire to be on television, now is the time to do it. Here in the States, it's constantly growing. People are constantly watching. The average American is spending somewhere between 4 to 5 hours a day in front of television. And they're cutting the cords because they have these platforms like Roku. They don't want to do cable. Now they want to watch it the way they want to watch it, pause it, come back. It's really a place for us as entrepreneurs to really leverage with what we can. And it's still growing, but it makes me, because it's big, but yet it's still small, because people still see the traditional television, that it's not attainable. But once I tell it to them, their mind is blown, Chuck. I mean, they start thinking. I can see the smoke start coming behind their ears. Like, how does this work? I said, just keep it simple. I can get you there, but it's really something you can do really affordable.
I know for sure we're creating some of that curiosity in our audience right now. And, we're shattering some perceptions here, and that television is this thing that's far out there.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of us are working within YouTube, but what you are saying is that, look, this isn't a high cost thing, and you have so much more control over your content in Roku versus YouTube, which is amazing. Because with YouTube, you really have to play by the rules of their platform. And that. So my question is, with regards to content. So if we're already thinking, okay, I can do this TV thing, Roku's accessible, but what kind of content? Like what do I need to do? Because I work with a lot of podcasters who do interviews just like this on Zoom. So can we publish content like this, or is there some sort of production or something that needs to be done to make this work?
No, like I stated, all you need is something in webcam, Zoom. You have your smartphone, make sure it's widescreen, but you want to present yourself in a favorable manner. everything else, like anything else, you want to have ownership to anything that you put out there, music rights, video loops, or anything like that. And you want to present the best package deal you can put together. So if we interviewing like this, I do the same thing. Get somebody we can help you with that, edit it up to make it look spiffy and snazzy by breaking it up and having your name at the bottom with some color scheme to it, your logo. And that's it. And I tell people that's the simplicity of now, unfortunately, with COVID. I think people are now more savvy with Zoom. And so now that people are aware of it, they have it more readily available and on their computers and on their smartphones. You can do it just that simplistically. Or if you're at home, you have a digital camcorder, you can set it somewhere in your home or home office, get the lighting right, sound right, record, and there you are, upload it, because now everything is HD. Not too much things are standardized anymore. We're all HD now, and that's it. No dogs barking in the background, no kids running through, trying to run from the dog. You're good to go, you know?
Although some of that's entertaining when it happens. I mean, who knows? We could do the outtake show as well.
Yeah.
I've got a few of those where we've had some interesting ones in the middle of Zoom interviews like this. So, yeah, and that's the other thing too, is that television or video, it has that entertaining component to it. I mean, a lot of us are using it in the podcast world as these interviews right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I very rarely have to edit my episodes, but I'll be editing this one. Okay. All right. So I love that the content can really be anything. And so many business owners now do embrace content creation now. Video is so accessible. Like you said, we all have a webcam, we have Zoom, and so much content can be created very easily using these platforms. So hopefully this is appealing to our business owners going, I should try this out. So if someone's going, okay, I never realized this was an opportunity before, and now they're realizing that it is, what are the steps? What would you say their next steps are if they want to look towards using this platform for their content distribution? What would be the first steps that they need to take?
Like anything, I tell people all the time, you want to create something that's going to be consistent. It's not a one-hit wonder. I've had people come thinking that they create a video and it's going to knock them out the ballpark, or that they hang. I don't know. I'm not good with baseball, but Hank Aaron, hit at the ballpark and boom, you get a home run. What you're going to do, how you're going to lay out the plan, what is your objective? What's the end goal, what you want it to be? Is it going to be branding? Is it going to be to draw them to you to get leads? So define what your purpose is and understand it won't be tomorrow or the next day, and be consistent with it, right? And then next, if you already have content, can you repurpose the content you already have that's going to meet that objective? And within that content, make sure you have some call to action, because anything else, you want to have them go somewhere to create some type of results for you. And after that, you're going to definitely say, okay, how I want to deliver this. Is it HD quality? Is it quality? And then how do I want to do it? Do I want to have it on someone else's channel and have a show on their channel? Or do I want my own channel? Again, there is a budget with this time. How much do I want to expense out? And then how much I want to expense out over time period. So it all depends on that. And definitely I can help along the way in terms of answering that. With iDefine TV, we offer a way of interviewing people. We offer a way to, if they have a show or podcast, they can do on iDefine TV. And then those who are a little bit bigger, they want their own channel, their own network. We can develop and design that for them and help them monetize it and look at ways of how they want to grow it. These are my benchmarks. This is my goal. And for myself, I get calls all the time that we don't have ads in terms of from ad networks, but they want to put ads on iDefine TV. Do you want at some point have ads and commercials on your channel if you decide to go that route? So you look at all those different things and work into it, but it's just not going to work overnight. And then you want to advertise and promote it, because you're offline, but you still want to go online to bring them to you, because it's still part of another, a component of getting the word out about what you have to offer and how can you do that. So it's not overwhelming, but just think of it where it's no different than what you do with YouTube, but you're going to put it on a way of put it on television. So I want people to keep it simple. I'm doing YouTube, but I'm putting it on television, but I'm going to draw people from there to take it to Roku. So in a nutshell, keep it simple. I get kind of long there. I don't want to scare you, but it can be fun.
Yeah, well, and it's a great summary of the steps. And I think what it really speaks to me of is I kind of think of the two paths, that people will take whenever they learn about something new. And some things are easy, some things require a little bit more thought. And it's so common to go down path number one, where it's like, okay, this is a great idea. I'm going to start researching all of that. I'm going to start looking into all of it. And I'm going to get something up on Roku. And that is certainly a path. And that's more what us chronic do-it-yourselfers and solopreneurs. I hate that word solopreneur because it's not that empowering, to be quite honest. It suggests that we need to be doing everything ourselves. And it's something that I was for a very long time in my business. And I have learned that if I want to do something and I want to do it quickly, because I'm all about doing it faster now and not the slow way. I did the slow way for a long time. And again, that being a chronic do-it-yourselfer, I had to really train myself to learn that, hey, wait a minute, by collaborating with others, by partnering with others, we can go from here to here so much quicker. And you've navigated all of this. You know all of that. And it seems like you'd be a really great person to collaborate with and to partner with on this whole Roku thing. And we're going to make sure that all your contact information is in the show and beneath this video and all of that. But I think it's a great sort of segue into the theme of our show as well, which is partnership and collaboration. And so I would highly encourage people not to try to navigate this on your own, but to reach out to you. But I wanted to ask you as well, because, and I know you and I have talked before, so I kind of know, I asked this kind of like half knowing the answer, but how is partnership and collaboration? How have you embraced that in your business journey, and how has it contributed to the growth of your business?
It helps a lot. And like you stated, that's one of the things that I wish I would have known earlier in the game of trying to collaborate with others, because like you stated, somehow, I don't know what it is, you kind of get in that circle of, I got to do this, I got to learn that. And by the time you can do all that, you're behind the spectrum of really moving forward. I have a buddy of mine, he's very successful, and so funny because he is so up here and been successful, but then you start speaking behind all the technical stuff. He has no idea how to do anything because he has everyone else does it. He's the ideal guy. He knows how to move the ball in terms of his outlining what his objectives are and what his goals are, but he does not want to do it and know everything. So in terms of collaborating, I wish I had started that earlier. But for me, I remember getting into this part of the I Define TV. I was able to collaborate with AT&T and was able to get them to come on board, did a live workshop here in Atlanta, partner with a studio here. And that way, what helped me with that was that one, I got a partnership with AT&T, a major corporation. That was nice, a good sense of credibility for myself. The actual studio, the goal for them was to get people to come in to know about the studio. They didn't never know about the studio. It was a cost to go to the workshop. We split money on that. And then at the end of the day, we were able to create a relationship and get people to move to the next phase in our partnering to do something else along the way. So for me, it was a win-win because we all won together in partnering, and I was able to learn more about what they offer. They learned more about what I offer. And now we have a partnership where I've gone out with eating lunch with them. We collaborate on things, referring people to their studios and vice versa. So collaboration does a lot in terms of how you can get yourself more exposure and people recognizing who you are, and definitely gives you a lot more exposure if you reach out to major corporations. It didn't have to be anything major, but they wanted to be the sponsor of the workshop. And so that gave people who attended, gave me a sense of they were AT&T, so they must be something special about them. So you just never know. Just take it step by step by step. And for me, I've always wanted sponsorship with major corporations. And it's the funniest thing. I would go through the whole process going online for them and always got no, a lot of times, Chuck. And so this time I said, I want some partnership for my workshop. And I just went into the actual local AT&T store. I said, I'm doing a workshop and I want to collaborate. And the guy gave the person who to call and he said, yes. So you just got to continue to be, yeah.
Wow.
For years, Chuck, for years, I would write this whole beat up, this whole thing, this whole layout, this whole marketing scheme. And I always got told no. Just went into a store, told the guy, and he pointed me in the right direction, and voila, there I was. I said, man.
Wow. So hang on a second. So you walked into an AT&T store and just told the guy there, hey, I want to collaborate with you guys. And that connected the dots between who you eventually had to talk to get it done, and it got done.
He got done.
Now, I just got to say, I just know so many people that I've coached over the last 20 years, and even, some of my own plans where I'm like, okay, got to write a plan and a proposal and got to, do this thing. And what you just said, so simple. I walked into the store and told the guy I wanted to collaborate. I love that.
And I tell people all the time, like Warren Buffett, I reach out to those services that I use. So I say, I use you. So therefore, if you go and pull me up, I'm a customer of yours. So partner with me. I love you guys. I've been with you for a while. And they say, well, do you want a bundle? I don't want a bundle. I got your home. I got your cell phone. That's enough. I don't want a bundle. And that was it. So if you think about all the different entities that you use and you're paying monthly fees for, reach out to them. They're going to say at some point, and I was in the right space at the right time. Had my internet providers at one point, they collaborated with me. They became a partner with me. I use you people. And I was on the phone. They upgraded me. He said, "Does there anything else you need, Miss Jackson?" I said, "Yeah, I want to partner with you people. I've been using you for a long time." And there it was. We partner.
Wow.
Things I use on a regular basis. Who do I use all the time? I pay you monthly. Pay me back.
Mm-hmm. Just ask and you shall receive. That's how this one went. I love that. And now, was it just an automatic, like, I'm just going to go do this, or did you have to think about it, work up the courage to do it, or whatever? Because you know how some people they build it up in their minds and then it becomes this big thing. So was it just a reaction, or did you have to kind of build up to it a little bit before you went?
I think it was from all the previous years. I mean, literally, like I say, decades when I first got into entrepreneurship. And I say beforehand, I would go on the website and fill out all this form. What's your demographics? Who your target audience? I mean, I would go through all that nonsense and just not getting feedback. But this one, I was like, I guess at the same time having that energy now, I said, I wanted and I deserve to have a sponsor for this event. And I said, well, who do I like? Who do I use? And I just said, and I went to the right store and I just walked in and the guy said yes. Or at the time they were trying to upgrade me on my internet service. I said, well, shoot, I'm paying out more money now. Let me just ask. And they were just in that space of having the right person. So I didn't work myself up to it. It was just like, it came to me and responding on it. Sometimes when things come, it is a message to go ahead and just do it instead of thinking about it. If you think on it too long, you may not move on it. And so that's what it was. I was like, okay, I wanted it. And I reached out to a whole bunch of different companies. I really did. But I expected somebody to say yes. I really did. Like, somebody will say yes to pay for this lunch. That's what I said. I promised food for this event. And I want to get somebody to pay for it. And AT&T did. And they came out and they participated as well.
Wow, that's amazing. And, you said something so key there that, the opportunity was there and you acted upon it. Yeah. And if you don't act upon it, then, sometimes we miss out on those opportunities. And there are opportunities today, especially when we have that thought is like, oh, go do this, or that voice that kind of speaks to you and says, go do this. And if you do it, boom. Amazing results can happen. If you don't, you look back and go, geez, I wish I would have done that. Or you work up the courage to do it, but unfortunately that opportunity has passed because it was in the moment that it was relevant, and you did that and it worked out well for you. And I wanted to highlight that for our listeners because I just think that's a huge message. And it's something that I've learned painfully in my business where I waited too long and that opportunity had gone. But in other times, acting on those ideas much, much faster, and just amazed at how easy things be when you do that. So
it is amazing. So sometimes I look back like, did I really do that? You just like sometimes. And then the best part, if you don't go, results will come easier if you don't sweat on it. When you really sweat upon things, it was more challenging. You may likely get a no. But if you're not really fretting it and you just like, I'm just going in here and you don't care. That's when you have you don't have that boundary of a negative thought. That negative thought doesn't reach you because you're just going, I don't care. I'm just going to go ahead and ask. If they say yes, they say no, I ask. And then, they say, yeah, okay. And it's just that cool. You're not sweating it. You're not trying to, oh my God, what if they say no? Oh, what if that was not even a thought. It's like either yes or no. It's going to be a 50-50 chance. So it's sometimes play around with it. I don't do it all the time, not Chuck, but that was one of those times. But a few times, like when I do it, it's like, hey, I should be in this one every day, winning.
Yeah, for sure. And it just reminds me of just how much of a personal growth journey being an entrepreneur is. Mm-hmm. And, in the beginning, I know for myself, overthinking things, doing too many things myself, not including other people in the business, or just asking, right? Just asking for things and not making it such a big deal. I remember how heavy the phone was, the first phone calls I had to make. And then today, like, if I look at the growth over the last almost 30 years since I started my first business, it's been an amazing journey and so much to learn. And we've talked about some of that here today. And so much of what I've learned is in books. And I've read a lot of books. In fact, I'm not so much a good reader of books, but I'm a good listener of books. Audible has changed the game for me, right? Where I listen to audiobooks now, and I've probably consumed, I don't know, almost 60 books in the last 2.5 years, which is amazing, because leading up all my years before that, I don't think I read that many books. I had them on my bookshelf, but but I'm not as good as a reader. But Audible changed the way I learn, but so much great information is in those books. So I want to ask you, and I ask this of all of my guests, if you were to recommend a book to our listeners as the go-to must-read book, which one would you recommend?
And then edited out. My speaker went out. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. I would say my favorite book I tell anybody to read is going to be The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Find this book. Don't borrow it. Don't share it. Buy the book. And the best part about it is it's the most conversational book I've ever read. Not only read it, but have a pad with you and follow what he says. By the time you finish the end of that book, you have a beautiful outline within that book. One of the things I learned, and oftentimes I'm watching commercials, he breaks down the difference between a product, and the offering. I can't remember what it was, but he tell you when you're reading something or watching something, what is the product and what is it selling you? And sometimes you think you get it twisted what they're really selling. Like I look at commercials with perfume. I be trying to figure out these perfume commercials. What are they selling me with Julia Roberts? Freedom, beauty, release, whatever. What are they really selling you? It's the feeling, not the actual perfume. They're selling me something totally different. So I love that part of the book where it kind of got me thinking about my product. What am I selling? What is the actual product? And what am I really selling? So it's a great read. And by the time you finish it, you're going to have a whole outline. And it's really a most simplistic read I ever had. So check that out, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. I love it.
It's one of the very first business books that I read. Not the first, but it was definitely in the first 5. And it was a game changer for me because just what I remember so much about that, and it ties in very nicely with the theme of this show, which is partnerships and collaboration and not doing everything yourself, because that book there really shines light on what happens when you try to be everything in your business, to be what it means to really be a solopreneur and where that leads, and then how you can actually avoid some of the pain of doing everything yourself by letting other people in, having systems, collaborating, partnering with others, which is all huge. So I love that recommendation. And, one of the things that we're doing, CF, is we're taking the clips of these recommendations, and we're going to eventually do a clip show where it's just all book recommendations.
Nice.
So there's probably going to be like a show within a show here.
Nice.
With all of that. And I don't even know, out of all of our guests yet, I don't know if anyone else has recommended that book yet. We've had very good fortune with this so far, where almost everyone has recommended a different book, right?
That's nice.
And so, yeah, it's really, really cool. So it's kind of turning out that way. So thanks for your recommendation. I love that book also. And we're going to put links to that in the show notes and everything here. So we recommend other people check it out. And so thank you for sharing that. Well, this has been an amazing journey so far with this interview. And I love everything you've shared. And this whole idea of getting on Roku and distributing video content through Roku is an amazing idea. And we want to give people an opportunity to connect with you to do that. So all the links are right here beneath this video and in the show notes of the podcast, so you can connect with CF And CF, let them know, like, what's the next step. So when they click the link to go and connect with you that we're going to put there, what should they do next? What's the best next step?
Well, they want to connect in terms of being part of partnering with me in a positive way. We have an ambassador program. If you find the link below, it's ambassador.idefinetv.com. And pretty much in a nutshell, you get a form to fill that form out, and to fill that out, and you'll get a response back to have a one-on-one, because we are partnering. My goal, I've learned over the years that it is a responsibility when it comes to having partnerships and doing affiliates and all that kind of stuff. And we make it a win-win, and we make sure that we can collaborate in a way that's going to be beneficial for both parties. So I want to connect with people. So I want to learn and see, not only just doing a sense of exchanging money in some way, but is there a way we can collaborate in different ways? So you fill a form out, we'll connect, and we'll go from there. But that's the next thing, is to fill it out. And then definitely, if you have any social media, connect with me on social media so we can collaborate in different ways of learning more. Because I'm a person at this point, we can be on social media so much, and we hoard so much information from others, but we don't get to know people enough. And the more we know about people, the more I can help, because you just never know. You say one thing that somebody says, never heard of X, Y, and Z, and someone mentions it to you, and all of a sudden it comes out of nowhere. Someone just mentioned that. Let me connect them to. So I want to connect with people and have some quality connections when it comes to partnering. So feel free to visit, and I invite you to fill out the form on ambassador.idefinetv.com. And you get more information as well. Once you fill that form out, you'll get a complete layout of how it works.
That's great. And we highly encourage that you do. And to make this one step better, if you do click the link and connect with CF, and you come back and tell us about your experience, and let us know, and we'll ask you, like, hey, like, what was all about? We'll know if you really did it or you didn't. But if you do that, and you contact us back, we're going to send you a free gift. And so we want to incentivize. That's how much we believe in what you're doing, and we want to really make this a way to connect the dots, the business owners who really need this help, and what you can do for them, CF, which is amazing. And so we highly encourage people to do that. And I want to hear all about your experience. Like, what was it like? And how did CF help you? And we want to, compile those stories over the next year, and let's see how many amazing stories we can create with that. So I highly recommend click that link, take that next step. And so as we bring this episode to a close, CF, I just want to thank you so much for being so open and forthcoming with your information about Roku. It's not something that you really hear people talking about. And I think that's what I love about it the most. It's not where all the other masses are and everyone else is talking about. It's one of those things that can be a game changer, and it's a little known thing. And we've helped spread the word about it here today. So thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me. It's been fun, and it's been entertaining at the same time. And you asked some great questions, some really great questions that had me thinking. So I appreciate you for having me today.
Oh, great. Well, it's been my honor and privilege to do so. So as we bring this episode in for a landing, if you were to leave our audience with just one final piece of advice or words of wisdom, what would you share with them?
I would say, like you stated, if they ever desired to be on television or create videos for television, I say, if you say, don't think too hard about it, but just get some support. If you had a desire, just ask. And it may not be today, but at least ask to learn what the process may be to get to that point, and learn the ins and outs just for yourself, not to do it for yourself. So you can put it on the path to getting it done, and learning that it's really attainable to do these days. The game has changed. So just ask, and I'm here to help in any way possible. If you have any thoughts or ideas that came to mind during our conversation today, just reach out and ask, and I'll do my very best to help you.
That's great. Thank you so much, CF. Great words to end this episode by. Thank you again for all that you've shared. Thank you to my audience for listening in, and you got all the way to the end. Now, all you need to do is click that link and connect with CF and see how she can help you get onto Roku and distribute your video content in a whole new way that you never realized that you could. This whole idea of streaming TV, still people are trying to unpack that, and CF has done that. So thank you to everybody. And in the meantime, keep moving forward on your business and your big dreams. Never, ever give up on those things. You're just one partnership away from overcoming any obstacle that stands in your way. And we highly encourage you to look for those partnerships and collaborations. And in the meantime, come back and check out one of our next episodes. I've been Chuck Anderson for this collaboration show, and we'll see you on the next one.